Welcome to your college football review. Oh, it is 5. I was about to look it up.
This episode brought to you by John's cold that might actually force him to pass out before we finish the video.
I'm really tired.
So I might have to finish this one by myself.
I'm really tired. I'm really trying not to get Eamon sick.
Yeah.
Last weekend, I was at a wedding, but I still got to watch the Cal USC game. And it was a bummer, but,
I got to watch several games, like snippets of games, like over my shoulder when I wasn't working, which was almost never.
True. I mean, you never really get to see anything. There wasn't much that was good. I was following the Iowa game from afar, and I was sitting at the table at the wedding with my phone out, and my brothers were getting annoyed with me. But I was like, look, I just got to know if Iowa can stop these fuckers. Oh, and it was so frustrating because they almost
so
did.
Close. Oh my god.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, you left them just... What did they left them like 49 seconds or a minute 40. That's from a minute 40.
Yeah, that's too much time.
And they let them just waltz down the field. No stops.
And then they got that last second touchdown with the guy crossing right into the end zone. It's like, so close yet so far.
Yeah. Peter was like, "Why do you care?" I'm like, "Because James Franklin's a fucking dick." That's why I care. Alas, anyway, we were looking at the AP poll rankings are confusing as fuck this week as usual.
Yeah, they often are.
Yeah.
How long until the first playoff ranking comes out? November?
Like, oh man, I have no idea.
It's a ways away.
I don't know. It's not like I watch college football or anything. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty soon. But, I mean, not pretty soon, but I think it's October or November.
I thought we were talking about college foosball.
Oh, fuck. Well, there's some pretty good action this year.
That's something they need to show on ESPN. It's
ESPN
fucking
8,
foosball.
The show.
Yeah, man.
Foosball. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, shit.
This week is a little light on great games.
Last week was fairly light
although
as
they're
well.
spread out pretty well.
Yeah, we've got a better spread this week. So you only have to survive through Wednesday. Well, today's Tuesday. So you only have to survive through Tuesday and Wednesday before you get to actual football again. So let's kick this off. On Thursday night, you have the University of Texas at Iowa at Iowa State. Sorry, oh my God.
At Ames. Ames.
At Iowa State, at Ames. And when we say at Ames, I don't mean at Eamon. I don't mean his
I do.
Twitter
I
handle.
mean it both ways.
He means it both ways. At Ames on Twitter. And at Ames, the city in Iowa.
Good.
So, Texas is playing Iowa State at 5 p.m. in Iowa State. And...
You know, Texas has had a weird year. Like, they got punched in the mouth by Maryland in that season opener. Then they probably should have beaten USC and ended up losing in double overtime.
It is so frustrating to me. We've seen this. I've following college football for like 5 years now.
I thought longer than that. Wow.
Yeah, no. That probably late junior college. But and I feel like I've seen a team like this every year, and they piss me off. Just pick a consistency at which you will play and stick with it. I know it's hard. But god damn it, I am tired of fucking Texas showing up being an unranked team 1 week, and then the next week they start playing like a fucking 10 seed. And you're like, well, what the fuck happened? And that was what that USC game was like, and then last week, or this weekend, who they play?
Can't remember. But Iowa State, this feels like a game that Texas could lose going into Iowa State.
Absolutely.
On a short week, and it feels like this is a team they should beat. But Iowa State's no slouch. Like, this could be this is a good start to your week on a Thursday.
As always with the Iowa teams, you never know when they're just gonna suddenly. I mean, not you never know. You always know that they're gonna play hard. They're kind of like the military academy schools. I think we said this last year. Fuck, where is that game?
The top.
Sorry, yeah. Why did I start scrolling down? I'm sorry I'm doing this while we're filming. I just wanted to see who Texas played last week so we could get a better idea. Oh no, they had a bye week.
Yeah, there you go.
They're coming off a bye.
So they're not on a short week.
Yeah,
they're
on
on
a short week.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
That makes a little more sense than why they have this Thursday game. Anyway, 3.5 stars.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 3.5.
Okay, you're doing a lot of agreeing with me lately.
Well, I can't think for myself.
Well, I mean that's okay.
I've lost the skill of independent thought.
No, I mean, it's not true. Anyway, then the next night, on Friday night, we have...
Probably the game of the weekend on Friday night.
You might be right. I'm going to hold off, though. This is number 5 USC at 16 Washington in Pullman, where Eamon has been.
I run that town.
What's Pullman like in September?
I have never been there in September. I've been there in early October.
Is it dry? Wet?
It's dry, yeah. I think that's right before it starts to get really cold and wet and wintry.
Okay. Well, this game's at 7:30, so it's Pac-12 at night. It's on a Friday night, so it's going to be on in the bar that you go to. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I don't know. My dad made a really good point as I was walking out the door to pick up Eamon, and he was like, Washington State's not as physical as USC. They don't get the defensive talent.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
You're right.
Although I think last year they were a little better defensively than that you could ever really say for them under Mike Leach.
True. But they are still a Mike Leach team.
Yes. Yeah, I think
they are undefeated.
They are undefeated. They have a great quarterback. I mean, obviously USC. There's a reason they're favored in this game because they are more physical. They play more defense. But I could see this one absolutely being a shootout. I think. And I mean, Sam Darnold has yet to have a great game this season.
I don't think he's going to be a Heisman winner personally, but that's beside the point.
This might be the week that he has a great game going up against Wazoo's defense, but we'll see.
We'll see. So I think the point to make here is that Cal's defense is good. We saw that. Mm-hmm. And Washington State's, we don't really know if they're any good. Right. This could be one of those games where it just completely implodes.
Crazy shit always happens in Pullman.
Yeah.
It's just one of those places where it's just chaos city.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. I'm gonna give it
I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I can't commit to the 4. Right. Anyway, that's 7:30 p.m. on Friday. And on Saturday, nothing in the morning, but
sleep in.
Get
brunch.
Yeah, get brunch. We made a note that at 12:30 you're gonna want to at least watch the score of the FSU Wake Forest game.
Keep an eye on it. You know, Florida State's had a rough start to the year and on many fronts.
Yeah, we're not gonna give this game a rating, but when what we've now noticed is that once Florida State lost DeAndre Francois, they basically lost the whole Division I team.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of not. They're a non-Power 5 conference team all of a sudden.
Yeah, this would be the rare upset if Wake Forest were to win, where a 4-0 team beating an 0-2 team would be considered an upset.
Yeah, it's Eamon pointed out how weird that would be if it happens, and it just might happen. So
yeah, very possible.
Then we'll cruise ahead to an actual game that we're going to rate, which is number 7 Georgia at Tennessee at 12:30 p.m. Eamon had higher hopes for this one than I did.
Yeah, I mean Georgia seems like they could be a legit contender for the playoffs this year.
They could be the SEC Bone Crushers.
I'm not sure if they play Bama this year. I hope so. That would be a fun one. But Tennessee is just a weird freaking team.
Yeah.
Not well coached.
They're the miracle team.
They are the miracle team. They usually win on miracles. A couple weeks ago they lost on a miracle against Florida. So I bet I feel like this might get out of hand, but I don't mind seeing Tennessee get blown out. So there you go.
What you gonna give it?
I'll give it a 3.
Oh, damn it. I was going to give it a 3, too. I'm giving it a 3 also. I'm sorry. I was literally thinking it.
Same brainwave.
That's at 12:30 p.m. So then we're going to shoot ahead to 3 p.m. so you can watch that entire game. At 3 p.m., number 24 Mississippi State versus number 13 Auburn. This is the only other ranked matchup that we think is going to be any good the weekend.
So Mississippi State, speaking of Georgia blew their doors off last week. It was like 31-3, I think.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
they absolutely shut them.
That was a surprising one,
and that is why Georgia is at number 7 now.
Yep, and why Mississippi State's 24.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been shocked if they'd fallen out of the rankings entirely. But here we are.
I think they beat someone.
They did beat someone, but this
Auburn's just meandering. We're Auburn. We're in the SEC.
We're gonna keep doing what we've been doing.
We're gonna keep doing what we've been doing, which is losing the games we're supposed to and winning the ones we're supposed to, and just hanging out. And they're at 13. So if they lose this weekend, they will not be at 13 anymore.
And that's all I gotta say about that game.
Yep, that's it. It's at Auburn, so Mississippi State doesn't have a huge shot. So I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
You can give it a 3?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Mississippi State might
Which
be
is weird for a game between two ranked opponents, but I'm not really that excited about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's one of the I will say it's one of the worst ranked matchups we've seen this year, which is kind of sad. Moving on. 4 p.m. we have the rescheduled Memphis at UCF game. This is supposed to be a week 2 matchup, I believe. And instead we are having it in week 5. They canceled one of UCF's weaker opponents so that they could play this game, which is an in-conference matchup. At least I think it is. 90% sure it is.
Sounds right, yeah.
Memphis is okay. UCF is much better.
Memphis beat UCLA.
Yeah, and that's why this is going to be a good test for UCF. They're going to play a team that's similar to them in their skill level for the first time. If UCF's as good as I think they are, they're playing at home. We should blow these fuckers out of the water. I'm thinking 50 to 20.
I would love it.
And
sounds great.
I'm gonna give it 4 and I'm gonna give it 4 stars because I think it's gonna be closer than that. And I think it's gonna be a fucking shootout.
Okay, I'll give it 3.5. But okay. I think it will be a shootout. Probably more fun to watch than Mississippi State at Auburn. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes these American Conference matchups, inter-conference matchups, are just more fun just because it's more high-powered offense. It's a bunch of guys who have nothing to lose because they don't have anything expected of them because they're not Power 5. It's a lot of guys who don't really expect to get into the NFL, so they're just out there pushing it.
That's true.
That game's at 4 p.m. so that we don't hit the 16-minute cutoff. Let's go straight to let's knock this out.
All right. Final game of the day as far as we're concerned. Cal at Oregon.
Cal at Oregon, 7:30 p.m. I've watched my fair share of this going horribly wrong.
Both these teams coming off of losses. Cal's was more expected than Oregon. Oregon lost to Arizona State. That was
embarrassing.
Pretty surprising.
I started my weekend listening to people on ESPN talk about how shocked they were at how good Oregon was and how they were like, Oregon's my pick to win the North. They're just so good. And then they come in and just stink it.
Yeah, no, they were never going to win the North. That's absurd.
No.
Especially with the Washington schools. But
because of Chip Kelly's reign of terror, they've imposed these and Phil Knight's money. Yeah. They've imposed this belief that Oregon's gonna bounce back.
Yeah,
they're gonna bounce back. Just get one more year, they're gonna bounce back.
And Cal, that was a tough loss last week. Game they were in pretty much all game. Although they played well for the most part, especially on defense. I could see them sticking in this game, but I don't feel good about the final results.
Yeah, I'm scared.
If we talked about this, if they bounce back and are able to win this game on the road, that would be a huge win for the program and for Wilcox, who's a great coach. I mean, it's plain for anybody to see how good he is.
I think we talked about this at In-N-Out. This is a coach's matchup. It's two teams who came off games that were close games. Close games? Well, the Oregon one was?
It was. Cal's didn't end close.
Cal's didn't end close, but they played
close for most of the game, for 3+ quarters.
So it's who can motivate their guys after a bad loss better.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we're going to come out on top. I don't know much about
It'll be helpful for Cal if Demetrius Robertson comes back. He's missed the last 2 games.
I don't know much about Willie Taggart. He might be good. I don't know much about him or his guys, so we'll see how they come into this game after that loss, because that's a pretty embarrassing loss.
I'm going to give this one 4 stars.
I'm going to give this one 4.5, because I don't see it being a blowout anyway.
I don't think it'll be a blowout, but
I think it's gonna be close.
I'm not.
I've been 2 to 3 quarters.
I've been confident all year on Cal. This one is a little worrisome.
All right. I'll give you that.
But I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
We'll keep it lit.
Keep it lit. And on that note,
that's been your college football preview. I'm John. He's Eamon. We'll see you next time, motherfuckers.
Dank.